Hi there, and welcome to Blame It on the Inverts. I'm Sean. Now that I'm a Southern California resident again, one of my first points of order was to become a magic key holder at the Disneyland Resort. And today's visit is primarily to hit Disney's California Adventure. Some of my earliest memories of this place are when it was still the massive parking lot for Disneyland. And even though I have a few visits in since the park opened, my last proper visit was almost 20 years ago. There have been a lot of changes and new additions since then, and I'm so excited to check them out. Let's head in. Now, as a roller coaster enthusiast, I almost always start with the big roller coasters in the park. And my last ride on the big coaster here was in early 2008. Now, it was still called California Screamin' then, but now is Incredicoaster. It has completely new theming to the movie The Incredibles. I'm so excited to check out all of the new changes, although I know the ride experience hasn't changed at all because it is the same roller coaster. But the line's right here. Let's hop in. That spin on Incredicoaster was so much fun. And you know, there's something that really can be said about getting your first ride on a roller coaster in almost 20 years. It was really nostalgic, and honestly, the coaster itself rides so well. And I loved the new theming. I'll absolutely be taking another spin today. But next, I need to go check out one of the new areas at the park, Cars Land, and a new ride that I've been waiting to get on for so long. Radiator Springs Racers. Let's go. Okay, that was insanely fun. Now, growing up and coming to this park, I was well aware of Test Track over at Epcot in Orlando, but I haven't ridden that yet. But when this was announced, I knew I was gonna love it. The part you see behind me with the racing and the speed, and it's just so much fun, but the pre-show part of that, where you go through and all of the Cars characters you interact with, and it's just wow. It was so insanely well done, and I can't wait for more rides. Well, after those first two speed-filled rides, I think I'm ready to drop down a tower. So I'm headed to Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout. Now, my last ride was when it was still the Hollywood Tower of Terror. And as much as I love the Tower of Terror, I know I can still go and ride that when I eventually make it to Orlando and Walt Disney World. But I'm really excited to check out the new theming of Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's do it. Wow. I just got off Guardians, and that thing I said about Incredicoaster being the exact same ride, well, this is the same drop tower and same ride system. They just completely redid it. The lobby and the queue is completely rethemed. The ride experience itself, wow. I wasn't expecting to have that much fun, and it was an absolute blast. I can't wait for my next spin. Let's head on. I was starting to get hungry and headed towards Paradise Garden Grill for lunch when I noticed Goofy's Sky School was reopening from a short downtime, so I hopped in the very short queue. And after lunch, I grabbed my very first ride on Toy Story Midway Mania. Toy Story Midway Mania was an absolute blast. And I ended up with a high score in the car for a Leo. That felt right. Do the park's a lot busier than I was expecting it to be for a Tuesday. And some of the rides started going down. Incredicoaster is testing now, but there's no riders. Goofy's Sky School went down for a little bit. But Disneyland looks like it has possibly slightly shorter lines than DCA has. And part of the beauty of being a Magic Key holder means anytime you visit one of the parks, you can park hop over to the other. I'm headed over to Disneyland now. I headed first to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge for a spin on my favorite dark ride, Rise of the Resistance. That ride on Rise to Resistance was absolutely incredible. And my last visit for the Seahawks Celebration Parade, it was down getting refurbished, so it was so great to be able to ride again. But it's still pretty crowded. And something I also haven't done in a really long time is the Disneyland Railroad. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a lap on that. I started my round-trip ride on the Disneyland Railroad at the Toontown station, and was treated to the beginning of the procession for It's a Small World as we passed by. The next station is in Tomorrowland, right next to Autopia, with Matterhorn towering behind it. After departing Tomorrowland, you'll pass through the Grand Canyon and even spot some dinosaurs before arriving at the Main Street station, just above the park entrance. There isn't too much to see between Main Street and the New Orleans Square stations, but after departing New Orleans Square, you get a sneak peek of Tiana's Bayou Adventure and great views of the rivers of America before arriving back at the Toontown station. After that lap around the park, I went to go say hey to my bestie, and then hopped in the single rider line for Matterhorn bobsleds for a ride on the Tomorrowland side, my favorite side. That ride on Matterhorn was wild. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't seen them racing the trains on both sides in my past few visits. So that was really fun to see. It really just enhances the ride so much. But after that ride, I checked the app and the wait times, and California's Adventure still has longer lines. So I think I'm gonna stick it out over here a little longer. And Indiana Jones has been down for a little bit, but it's back up and only has a 25-minute wait. So let's head there next. Now that we're in the queue, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information that you didn't ask for. When Indiana Jones first opened, this line was easily 3 hours plus long. And what they did is they put codes inside of the walls of the queue and gave you cards with a decoder so that you could try to figure out what the puzzles engraved in the wall said. And that was a really great way to help pass the time while you were waiting for your first ride on this magnificent attraction. Now, along the line as well, there were a couple of areas that were interactive. Now, I'm in a cave right now, and right after this cave, there was a room that had a bar that you could push. And once you push that bar, the ceiling would start to fall. Now, they took that pole out, but I'm in the room right now. There's spikes on the ceiling, and every time it would fall down, it would make a big bang. I don't know how long that's been gone, but then further along in the queue, there's also a well, and you can pull the rope, and there's some sound effects of a guy who's working down there, and he asks you to stop pulling on the rope, and eventually falls into the water. Now, one last bit of information before we get to the station. When Indiana Jones Adventure first opened, they used all 3 doors at the very beginning. Now, if you're familiar with the ride, when you get on and leave the station, there are 3 doors that you can go through, but you always go through the center door now. But when the ride first opened, they used to switch the door that you went through. Now, there's 3 colors: gold, turquoise, and purple. Gold is the center one, but you would also sometimes get turquoise and sometimes get purple. And you would go through one of the side doors. Now, next time you ride Indiana Jones and you leave the station, look to the side, to your right and to the left. You can still see the tracks, although they don't change the door anymore. But we're almost at the station. Let's go. I always check the wait times while walking back from Indy, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad showed a 20-minute wait, so I headed straight there. Next up was another personal favorite, the 999 Happy Haunts of the Haunted Mansion.
Be music from regions beyond. They're assembling.
One of the park's newer attractions is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Toontown that I got my first ride on this past December. I can't get enough of this trackless dark ride, especially Dance Class with Daisy. I wanted to ride on the final coaster next, but Space Mountain was closed for refurbishment. So I headed back to the single rider line in Matterhorn for another lap on the Tomorrowland side. That night ride on Matterhorn was perfectly chaotic. And my day is winding down. But I've heard great things about the night parade, Paint the Night. And I can't tell you the last time I actually got to stay and watch a night parade here at Disneyland. It might have been the Main Street Electrical Parade, if I'm being honest with you. Let's check it out. I decided on one more ride to allow the parade traffic to exit, and went back to the Matterhorn single rider line to see if I could snag a lap on the Fantasyland side. But it was full when I got to the station, so a third lap on the Tomorrowland side it was, which I was fine with, of course. Thank you so much for joining me for my day here at the Disneyland Resort. Getting to ride those new and reimagined rides at California Adventure was an absolute blast. And I honestly wasn't expecting those lines to be longer than the lines at Disneyland today, but I'm so glad I jumped over to Disneyland and enjoyed the rest of my day there. That Paint the Night parade was absolutely stunning. And I know I heard a couple of samples of the Main Street Electrical Parade music in there. That made me so happy to hear. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I got plenty more Southern California Park content coming your way. I'll see you at another park soon.